baseball is amongst us, Rob.
It is. The regular season kicked off to all the pomp and circumstance and fanfare it normally gets. And then some reality hit, at least for me and my Red Sox. I was not surprised losing that first series. I really wasn't. Yes, we signed Ranger Suarez. Yes, we did a few things. Well, I was worried about the depth. I felt like too many things need to go right, and it's the world's smallest sample size. We're not even at close to 1% of the games played yet. They played 3. There's 162. But Suarez looked awful. So did Oviedo. Conley early, though, looked great. And I would not be surprised if Peyton Tolley has a good start in AAA, if he joins the rotation pretty quick, even if they go to a 6-man for a little bit to help Suarez kind of get his footing and get going. The young guys on the Sox side, Marcelo Mayor has looked fantastic. The young guys have looked great. Rafaela's doing good. The older guys got to get with the program. How are your Rangers doing?
They're doing great for the beginning of the year, I think. We did have that one little hiccup, and Rob, you pointed that out too. DeGrom should be pitching tonight. I think he's still a go. But yes, he had a little neck problem. He was going against the Phillies. I guess the weather was really cold out there, and basically they decided we're not going to risk any sort of straining. I hope that's the case. I've also heard this before, and then you find out your pitcher just can't pitch. Little concerned about that going in, but we ended up winning that game. We beat the Phillies, World Series, beating them in the series 2-3, and a lot of people are projecting the Phillies to be one of the World Series contenders. Although anyone contending outside of the Dodgers, I mean, there's the Dodgers and then everyone else, right? And
for sure.
But we ended up beating them.
So Jacob DeGrom went 4.2 tonight. He gave up 6 hits, 3 earned runs, but he had 7 strikeouts. The Rangers at the start of the 7th inning are currently up 4-3 on the Orioles.
That'd be awesome because that would make us 4-1 for the record. We are right now ahead of the Astros, number 1 in our division, and I have to brag about that because I can't promise that for the rest of the year. But, you're going against the Orioles, you're going against the Phillies. I'm overall really happy with the product. I know the Orioles are a little touchy, but beating the Phillies in 2-3 series, I'm really excited. Jake Berger is looking really phenomenal out there. He had a terrible year last year, and he ended up playing a lot better this year. Or so far, he's playing better this year.
I mean, don't get too attached to that boot. I think, the Mariners might throw a harpoon there and harpoon it and just take it away from both your teams and claim it as their AL West trophy. Because I do think the Mariners are going to go ahead and win that division overall. But yeah, good start for the Rangers.
Yeah, well, the battle is Texas, and last time I checked, Seattle's in Washington. Get the hell away from our boot. This is our thing, okay? This is our thing that we got to go capture, but should be a lot of fun. I'm so far really happy because we did not start the year off like this last year, so it's better. It's better. I'll take it. But I'm trying not to get too excited.
And that's totally fine. Over in the NHL, we got a big one going on right now on ESPN Plus. The Stars have wandered up to Boston, and they are currently heads up as we speak in the middle of the second period, playing right now. How do you think that's going? Who do you think's winning right now?
If I actually had to guess, I would say the Bruins. I would imagine the Stars are starting to put the foot off the gas. They don't look like they're in a position right now where they can actually get up into the number 1 spot or get down to the 3rd spot. If they're going to go ahead and go all out and try to get a win, they might get the win against the Bruins. But just in general, I'm more on the mindset of right before the playoffs, that's when you start ramping up your starters and get real serious about hockey. I just wouldn't do it right now in this, just because you're in a stuck spot.
Yeah, for sure. And right now the Bruins are up 2-1. Currently, we've got Marat Kuznetsov has a goal for the Bruins, as does. Oop, I clicked on the wrong screen. I lost my other goal. Keep going. As does Victor Arvidsson. He has one. Pasternak on both assists there. For the Stars, good old Jamie Benn has the lone goal for them so far to go along
He
with
still
three
got
shots
it.
on goal. Otter's not doing too bad. He's got 11 saves so far. This game is far from over, but the Bruins, they're looking good. Um, they are 4 points clear as we speak of the second wild card, and a good 6 points up on falling out with less than 10 games to play. So, a win tonight and then one, maybe two more wins that should lock them into the playoffs. Currently, if they were to play tonight, if the playoffs started today, they would be up against the Metropolitan Division winner, which looks like the Carolina Hurricanes, and that is always. It's not the rivalry it was back in the day when it was the Hartford Whalers and the Boston Bruins, Connecticut and Massachusetts going at each other. But in recent years, the Hurricanes and the Bruins have had some pretty epic playoff series. They do not like each other. That'd be one awesome way to kick the playoffs off.
Big, yeah, that would be really awesome, and it's good. So it's looking like you guys are pretty much solidifying that playoff position, though, right?
We're doing well. We're in the driver's seat to make it. I'm not saying anything solidified because right now the Philadelphia Flyers are making a fever pitch of a push. I will say one thing I want to touch on real quick outside both of us, but talking about the NHL. The Las Vegas Knights have done Bruce Cassidy dirty. And I'm someone that was very happy when the Bruins let Bruce Cassidy go because it wasn't working in Boston. He was winning a lot, but not winning the right ones. It was time for him to go. But he was still a fantastic coach. So what happens? He goes to Vegas and immediately wins a cup with some new players. And the NHL is known to fire coaches reflexively, quickly, but usually towards the start of a season.
Yeah.
The Vegas Golden Knights are still in playoff position. They fired Bruce Cassidy because they didn't think they were doing well enough. And they brought in and they didn't just promote, they brought John Tortorella, who's coached for half the league at this point, won a cup back when he was the Lightning coach, was most recently Flyers, and then also the Rangers coach as well. One of the best American coaches of all time, but Cassidy got done dirty.
Yeah, done dirty. You got to let them finish up the year, and I think that's the most polite thing that you could do over there. But I guess they are in a win now mode, and they're saying we have no time for this, so we're just going to get rid of Cassidy. NHL, man, NHL coaching is by far the harshest of all the coaching sports. But it's weird.
You get lots of chances. Once you get you keep getting more.
Yeah, you get like 5 more chances, though. They just recycle coaches like crazy, and a lot of them are good coaches. I mean,
Yeah.
So it's just weird how that works. But ends up being really good for the Hey, I hope the Bruins make it, though. I really do, because I think it'd be a lot of fun to get some playoff action in hockey. How are the Celtics doing? Are they looking pretty good?
They're doing just fine. And my favorite, I love Joe Mazzulla. He's a fellow Rhode Islander. He went to Hendricken, not LaSalle, but whatever. I won't hold it against him. He is king of the outlandish quote. He says what is on his mind. And he was asked this week about, winning the Coach of the Year award because he is a front runner, especially what he's done without Tatum almost the entire year. Tatum's only been back 2 weeks now. And he said the award was stupid. He doesn't want to win it. Because the award doesn't mean anything. He wants the ring. He wants the second ring. I love it.
Yeah. Yeah.
He doesn't need no boot.
No, he doesn't he wants the main thing. The eye on the prize. The eye on the prize. So we also have the Mavericks making the news. I'm going to jump back, I guess, into this all again just to make myself hate my team that I cheered for as a childhood. Yes, the Dallas Mavericks, they made the news recently. Mark Cuban ended up saying he regrets selling it to the Adelsons. Thanks, Mark. Thank you.
He doesn't regret. He didn't regret selling it.
No, I have no problem with that. But he regrets selling it to the Adelsons. And Hey, Mark, how about this? You're a businessman, okay? I saw you on Shark Tank. You seem to know a lot about contracts and how that works, okay? When you say
he had a handshake deal, he thought he had a handshake deal.
He had an unspoken rule to be in charge of the basketball operations, and then all of a sudden, these owners who didn't sign anything, the Adelsons didn't sign anything, never decided that I'm going to take over the basketball operations.
He wasn't independent when they lost to the Celtics.
Yeah, it was all fun and games when you had Luka. Now that you lost him, it's over. So, look, and here's another thing. You were kind of hounding our fans when we said fire Nico back when the trade happened. I think most of America now agrees the trade was awful. Might be the worst one in all of sports, okay? And for him to come out, it's close. But
no, yeah, no, I was. There's Little League. It's worse than some Little League trades. I bet it was bad.
It was awful. And then when the fans started chanting, fire Nico, throwing fits, doing what we do to just try to get some control back of our franchise, you were getting mad at us. How about then, maybe then, we'd find a little forgiveness if you decided to jump in and say, this trade sucks. This is a bad trade. And I do not stand behind this. I do not support what the Adelsons are doing. I don't support what Nico Harrison doing. And he even alluded to the fact that Jason Kidd might have known about the trade, which we kind of suspect as Maverick fans, which say it. If you know something, say it. Because right now, if the minute you say that, I promise you, the arena will lose their mind and start chanting against Jason Kidd. I want everyone responsible for that trade to be fired. All of them. Every single one. And I can't do much about the owner because they own the team, but I want him out too. And if Jason Kidd's part of it, out.
You had the glorious Anthony Davis era. So many highlights.
Yeah, whatever.
So many banners.
Yeah.
You got a flag out of it. You didn't get a banner, you got a flag out of it.
I know you're poking fun, but I'm serious. Like, this seriously ruined what I love about sports. And, like, it ruined me for other sports. I just didn't care anymore for the longest time, and I'm slowly rebuilding. I'm slowly starting to care again. But every once in a while, these news stories come up that I'm just like, I'm done. And by the way, Luka is killing it. Who could have told you that? All the Maverick fans. All the Maverick fans could have told you he does it.
Watched him play one game.
It blows my mind. And I don't want to hear anything about him going to LA, and that's why he got better with his weight, because he did that every summer. The only reason why you fans know about it is because he's in LA, so they made it a big story. But he did that every summer. He goes back to Europe, he eats better, he's all of a sudden in better shape, comes back, we all think he looks good, and then he starts playing off, and eating American food, and gets a little chunky, but I'm okay with chunky.
You heard it here first, folks. Europe's food, better than American food.
Healthier, but don't take away my Whataburger, okay? don't do that.
we love the Whataburger. Well, Nick,
there you go. All right, you did it. Drew it out of me.
An awful lot happened this week. The biggest news story, of course, was in the golf world. We don't need to fully rehash it. If you're watching us by now, you know what happened. Came out about 30 minutes before we went live that he is not surprisingly checking into a rehab facility. He said he's stepping away to solve some things. I'm assuming he's off to rehab. That I'm sure his lawyer told him, hey, you want to avoid any embarrassing fines or prison time. especially because he's technically a multiple offender with this. Go ahead, get your butt over to rehab. And so, breaking news: Tiger will not be playing at Augusta National this year. And you know
Yeah, I
what?
know.
He's lucky he hasn't killed anyone, including himself. He needs to figure it out and just hire a goddamn driver. And if you're so worried, and like I saw some of the news stories that came out, I watched a little bit of the foreplay pod because I was curious. If you want to see a crazy take, go look up Barstool Riggs and the video he had on it. We won't dive into that here. But
I got
apparently,
it.
one of the things, apparently, we can maybe dive into it. Apparently, one of the big things is Tiger just doesn't want, he wants his own personal private time. Well, you know what? You don't need that in a car. And if you're worried about someone knowing where you're going and what you're doing, you need to look at that too.
That's exactly what it is. He's just trying to hide his habits away from someone, and he just doesn't want anyone to know. And Tiger, you could tell the driver you could pay him to shut up. This is the Riggs thing. I just have it real quick, Rob. It's the Riggs response to it for Barstool, and Barstool acted so weird.
So
You think I told our team to not post about Tiger Woods' DUI and to protect him? You're goddamn right I did. You want me on that wall. You need me on that wall.
Yeah, and he kept going. He kept going. It's embarrassing. I will say Kevin Kisner stayed out of that whole thing. But his two foreplay pod, 4FORE, like 4 on the golf course, guys. YouTube, understand what we're talking about here. They called him out and said it was not the right take, not the right way to go about things. And he, to Riggs' credit, he said, yeah, I understand what you're saying. But he kept going back to, well, people are going to keep throwing him under a bus, and we shouldn't all be throwing him under a bus. Someone needs to be there to support him. And it's like, not like that, dude, because that came across as a really pathetic, sad take. If you saw photos of the crash, he was on a neighborhood road. He could have killed a child that was playing in their front yard. Like, he's had multiple offenses. Yes, he blew 000s because he didn't have any alcohol in his system. They did find oxycodone in his pocket, though, 2 loose pills.
Yeah.
So he was under the influence. Like we don't know for sure, but it's a classic problem in America. He's probably addicted to painkillers.
Yeah, not probably. I think we've got enough evidence to say that he is. And I'll tell you one thing to Riggs' response on we need to support him. He's Tiger freaking Woods. America supports him. We love us some Tiger Woods. We want him to do well. We don't want to see this. I mean, you can go from all the different religions to political parties. Everyone supports Tiger Woods. And when he does stuff like this, it's just a disappointment to people like, golf fans especially, because we want to see him back. He's entertaining. He's great. He's Tiger Woods. And it's just a real sad story all the way around. So, Riggs, not smart. Not smart there, bud. But what are you going to do, right?
What are you going to do?
Yeah. That's it for me.
His pod probably got a lot of extra views. I never listened to it. I tuned in because I was like, I need to hear what this dumbass has to say.
Hey, he got clicks. You can't be ashamed of being entertained, and that's just all that is. But, yeah. I still don't support what he did there. And come on, Riggs, think it through, buddy. Think it through.
Mm-hmm. Well, all right. We've had a great week. We had a lot to look forward to in week 1 of the UFL. It was a pretty solid week. Week 2 should be even better. We got hockey playoffs coming up. Hopefully I'm hoping by the time we come at you next Tuesday, we get to mention in the pregame show that the Bruins have clinched a playoff spot. So we'll see. We're excited. If you haven't found us yet, while you're looking at our faces, click that like. If you are still listening now, an hour and 15 minutes in, click that like button if you hadn't, please. That really helps us find more people. Hit that subscribe button and share with a friend. We are on most platforms. YouTube, X, Blue Sky, TikTok, Instagram. Search Nick and Rob Homer Hour and you will find us. Give us a like, give us a follow, share with your friends. We're on every Tuesday night, 7:30 Eastern, 6:30 Central, with our occasional world-famous watch-alongs, which we are bringing you our first one of the UFL season next week. If you haven't tuned into a UFL game, this is the time to do it. Watch along with us as our Dallas Renegades take on the St. Louis Battlehawks in what might be the game of the season right here in week 2.
Right here in week 2, and we did get some comments. I just want to run through them, just a shout out for the fans. We got Chucky Valentine making picks. He said the DC Defenders are going to win. Orlando, I don't know. Oh, over or under, so he's a gambling guy. Decided to go over 44.5. St. Louis, he's picking them. So, Chucky, thank you for giving your input over there. And, I hope you're somewhat right, except for the fact that you chose St. Louis. So we're off to a rocky start, but we'll see how that works. Tony came back, too. He said, how about them Seahawks? Long time no see. Rob?
Good to hear from you, Tony. How about, hey, the Seahawks earned it. They deserved it. They were the better team.
Yeah, he's not going to let it go. But glad you're back, Tony. We are glad that you're back. Thank you for joining the show.
Join us next week for the watch along. You bring the heat every watch along. We hope you join us.
Yeah, please do. It's Tuesday in prime time Tuesday. And then Horror Games also had a comment. He said that's true. He does fire coaches left and right and fired every. He's talking about the NHL coaches being fired all across the league.
Yeah, no, it happens all the time. It's not usually this late in the season, but hey, it is what it is. Vegas still isn't winning the cup. Dallas or Edmonton are coming out of the West.
Hopefully not Edmonton. But that's it from us. You know how to find us, so find a way. I don't know if you mentioned TikTok. We also have that too.
TikTok.
It's getting a little touchy. I got to stay on top of it. But until then, we're going to see you next time, and we're going to do a live show of the Renegades. So it should be a lot of fun, and we'll see you guys next week.